How we doing, guys? Joe Drake here with LiveExercise.com. You guys are at mobility movement now, so hopefully you guys are ready to feel good, get a little bit mobile. Whether you're going to go into a workout, we'll have a short 5-6 minutes to get you guys going, or if you guys want to hang out and stick around a little bit longer and go through it as well. So we're going to go through a little bit of lower body stuff. Oh my goodness, look who we have here.
Hey, hey.
So I have a lovely guest with me as well. So Robin's going to join us today, and we're going to focus a little bit more on the lower body, so from the waist down. So we're going to go through and do some things for the hips, the hamstrings.
Take off your shoes.
Absolutely. I'm already shoeless in here. But we're going to go ahead, if you guys, equipment-wise, don't worry if you don't have everything, you guys can still stick along for most of it. We're going to go ahead and use the massage roller today, the massage stick. We've also got our foam rollers, and we've got a couple different stretch straps, whether it's, some of the fitness gear stuff or not. And while I've got Robin here too, starting out, just so you guys can see, Robin's just going to stand here. Guys, the whole basis of mobility movement, the show in general, is taking a look at how everything's moving from the ground all the way up through the body. So for example, today we're going to start out with mobilizing the calves. And we'll talk a little bit about how that affects everything else from the knee to the hip, backs. So if you guys are having some pains, maybe we can figure some of that out. All right, so let's go ahead and come down to the ground, and we're gonna grab our massage stick to get started. All right, so really lots of things you can do with this, mostly for things that you're gonna do on your own. I find this to be a little bit more useful for some of the lower body stuff. I personally have some tight calves. I don't know about you. Tends to be an area of soreness and tightness for me. So what we're going to do, really, you guys think about this as like an intense version of the foam roller. It's going to allow you to put a little bit more pressure into certain areas. And just like it looks like you're going to be rolling bread or anything else, let's think of that as our muscles. So we're going to start out on our calf. We're going to work our way from right below the knee all the way down towards our Achilles, and you're going to go slow. So we'll take our time in this position, and you can start in small areas. So rather than go all the way down the muscle, let's go ahead and take our time and go through just a couple inches at a time. There we go. How are your calves feeling today?
My calves aren't bad.
Everything else?
Other areas are really sore.
Robin just got done with the competition last week, so she's gonna need this today.
That's why I volunteered.
Yeah, so think about your calf, your gastroc and your soleus, those are gonna run up and down. So we're just gonna spend a little bit of time rolling up and down. And you guys can see, obviously we can get to the outside or the inside of those legs and get a different part of the muscle. So Robin, you feel any tender spots, or are you feeling pretty good?
Once I get down to the center.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right there is where I'm
Yep.
feeling it. Not so much up top.
So where you guys find those tender spots, you want to take some time, put some extra pressure. So I'm feeling it right in the middle of my calf too, and just push in, and we want to hold there for about 20 seconds. So these are, you can call them hot spots. This is where you might have some knots in the muscle. And just take your time.
The spots that just make me want to sweat.
We call it the gristle face. If you guys are at home, oh, that means you're on a spot.
That's the spot, right?
Stay there. Good. So you can even adjust. You give yourself some more leverage to be able to push in to that handle, however is able to. Mm-hmm. There we go. Again, these are great tools if you have a buddy or a partner who can also work and use it on you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not always so fortunate to have someone who wants to roll me. There we go. Good. Take your time. So guys, this is really just kind of like an intense version of foam rolling, almost like a little bit of self-massage. So if you've ever had that deep tissue massage, you want to take it nice and slow. And I know times I've got a massage when she finds a spot, she's trying to make me cry. There you go.
Why
you guys
do they do that?
It's because they're mean. Torture. So you guys keep going there. We're going to spend about another 30 seconds. Feel free, on the back side of that leg, work yourself all the way down towards that Achilles, so your soleus, so your other calf muscle, kind of sits underneath of that gastroc, and you might feel a little bit of tightness in one place versus the other. So really pushing in, put a little extra pressure. And there we go. And you got something there?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. I had a little
I'm hearing
pop.
some grunts over here. And good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So we'll get going on this. For those who want to jump into a workout, again, this is probably the best video if you're going to jump in and do a lower body workout today. Great couple minutes to go through, and those who want to stick around longer, we'll go through a couple other things. So we're just going to use the roller to start. Those who stick around for the rest of the video, we'll use some of the other tools. We'll get into some active stretching as well. There we go. So you guys take your time. We're going through just the exact same thing on this side. So I'm trying to get that medial, the inside of my calf, roll all the way up, because that calf really actually crosses over, your gastroc crosses over and acts a little bit at the knee. So So you guys might even feel it. I know I have some clients who, when they're doing hamstring curls, sometimes that calf will cramp up. So it's involved a little bit at the knee. So you really want to get up right underneath. And you can try some different angles too. The further out the way the leg is, a little bit hard to get into. So there we go. Yeah. Different on one side than the other.
One side's always tighter.
Yeah. So taking your time, really putting that in. And if you guys are going through doing this on your own, just think about spending, you know, maybe at least 60 seconds, 90 seconds. If you have plenty of time, maybe a little bit more on each muscle group, and you're gonna feel pretty good. And here we go. And we'll spend about another 10, 15 seconds on this calf. Kind of rolling up and down, grunting. There we go. It is. All for the good, guys. You'll feel better by the time you get into that workout, I promise. Even without stretching, you guys will get a little bit more range of motion. So if we were smarter, we would have done maybe a little squat test. You squat before, do some of this stuff, and then squat afterwards and see how you feel. Good, nice job. Let's go ahead and work a little bit on the front side of the leg too. So this is also a little bit more comfortable if you guys are seated in a chair or something else. This is a great position where you're able to really get into that quad. We kind of want to relax the muscle though. So we're going to start all the way up in that hip flexor, which I know Robin was talking about being tight. And we're going to work our way from that hip flexor all the way down to the top of the knee. So again, same idea. You've got...
You don't have to go fast here.
Yeah.
Good, right?
You can just kind of sit it right there.
Slowly roll it. Roll it. What'd you say? Roll the dough?
Roll the dough. That's it.
Making pizza.
Yep. And so the idea is generally you want to start with the direction of the muscle, so the quad runs down the leg. Start right in that hip flexor, which is probably going to be the source of pain. I'll come over and push hard down on Robin's. And good. You guys take your time rolling down. So again, first couple minutes, we'll go a little bit faster. So if you're feeling super tight here, you might want to stick around. But again, if you're moving, trying to get into a workout, feel free to go a little bit quicker. Rolling down. Again, you can see I like to get the leg turned a little bit too, get out on my outside of my quad, work right in the middle, and then get on the inside of that leg too, which is good, guys. Inside of the leg, kind of hard to get sometimes with the foam roller, unless you want to get in a funky position. A little easier to get. Ooh, and this does not take a lot of pressure here either. Good.
That's okay. You make these noises, the ooh and
There you go. Good. Rolling on that inside, and let's go ahead and switch legs on this side as well. Yep. Good, guys. Let's go. Take your time. Must have been too much for Robin. So you guys, like I said, same thing on here. Getting right into that quad, really taking your time, pushing down. If you feel like you're going over a road bump or something there, you might have a knot or one of those hot spots. So just take your time, rolling your way down, work your way in and out. So once we're done with the quads, we're going to do just a couple active stretches. Take us like a minute for those who want to get in, get a workout in. Appreciate you guys joining us so far. Guys, roll on the inside, outside. Ah, look who decided to join us.
I had a little visitor at the studio.
Here we go, guys. Rolling on the outside of that quad. Take your time. Again, if you got a little tightness in right where that hip attaches, feel free to put some in there. And good, nice job. All right, so we'll come back to that. We're going to get one active stretch for those who are about to jump into a workout. So we'll go ahead and jump up into a half kneeling position, and all we're going to do is get a little bit on that hip flexor and that quad that we just stretched out, just since it's a tight area. We're just going to drive the hips forward and relax, okay? So when you drive forward, think about squeezing your butt cheek on that left side too. That's going to lock your hips into place and really stretch at the hip flexor. And let's just get about 8 to 10 on this side. So drive those hips forward, chest up. If you guys want to get a little bit longer, you can go hands up overhead too. Just makes a little bit longer line in that area. Pushing forward, good. Let's get about 3 more here, and then we'll switch sides. How you feeling over there?
Deep breaths.
How's that hip flexor feeling?
This is helping for sure.
And good, let's go ahead and switch sides. We'll get about 8 on this side, and then my exercise crew, you guys will be on your way. The rest of us are gonna hang out and get a little bit more feel-good stuff going. So again, push those hips forward, chest stays up, squeeze that butt cheek if you can. Feel free to stay down here if you guys want to go up overhead as well. Again, just going to get you a little bit longer. Big drive forward. Let's get last one. And good, nice job. So that's just a little taste for those who are jumping in. You guys have a great workout. I'm glad you guys could come join us today. For everyone else, we're just getting started, so you guys feel free to stick around, all right? So those who are getting into it, get after it. Let's actually come back down. For those who are staying around, I want to finish up using the stick for right now, and then we're going to go through and do some other active stretches for those areas that we've worked on already. So we did a little bit of stuff on the calves. This is one, like I said, if you've got a friend who's someone who can really put in some pressure from the other side, this is the best way to use this and get into the hamstring, but we're not massage therapists. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit on the backside. So if you guys are tight in the hamstrings, this is going to be a great way. And I think easiest way is really to kind of pull up on it. That way you can really kind of put some pressure in. And again, you can keep that leg up if you want to keep it a little bit further out. Same idea. Same with everything else, guys. We're really just taking our time. If you find a spot in that hamstring, generally right where your glutes and your hamstrings come to meet, you guys can kind of generally feel this notch right in the backside. A lot of times we get some knots there too, so you might have to be a little creative with your position, but you guys should be able to get into that area too. There we go. Good, good, good. So we're not going to spend a ton of time doing the hamstring here. Just logistically, position-wise, this is actually a little bit easier to get on your guys' foam roller. I really think this rolling stick best for your guys' your calves, your quads, your hip flexors. So you guys take your time, really get on the inside, a little bit of the outside of that leg. And that's good, like that. Like I said, we'll do a little bit more once we get to the roller. You're able to put a little bit more pressure in. You guys take your time, rolling up and down. There we go.
Yeah, the cool thing about these, you can take them anywhere you go.
Yes.
Traveling.
Fits easy into a suitcase. Same thing, honestly, if you're creative like me, I stuff my socks inside of my foam roller. This could probably fit in there too.
That's funny.
Which is like exactly why I like that one that's got the hole in it, because it travels easily. Just take a PVC pipe if you're crazy.
Oh, God. Now that's crazy.
Yeah. Good. Now you guys will want to start with something a little softer if you're doing foam rolling until you get more used to it. If you've got a little bit more muscle density, then usually you need something a little bit harder. AKA, I'm just strong and I need a foam roller that's hard, right? Guys, take your time. Get into those hamstrings. And good, nice job. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side. Now that we've got maybe some specific spots, let's grab that foam roller out, and we're gonna just kind of hit the hamstrings to start, and then we're gonna get up, we'll do some stretches for those calves, for the hamstrings, and then we're gonna get back into the hip flexor a little bit too. So on here, if you guys haven't used the foam roller before, the more points in contact you have with the ground, a little less weight that's gonna be in your leg. If I take one leg off the ground, now I've just put more weight into that leg too. So same idea that we use with our rolling stick is just going up and down with that muscle, all right? So you feel free to start over the top. If you guys need to have one leg on the ground, totally fine. But let's kind of start from the top of the hamstring. So hamstrings are on the back side of the leg. You really have three major muscles that make up that area. And because of that, we want to make sure we not only go straight up, but we kind of get on the inside. Yeah, and we also get a little bit of the outside. So we don't have to get all the way on the side of the leg yet. But work right in there. And like I said, for me, right where that hamstring comes in and meets your butt is where I usually feel it the most. There we go. So how was that competition you had this past week?
It was fun.
Yeah?
We had probably about 6 instructors who led exercise there.
Nice.
Everybody
Representing?
Yeah, everybody representing.
Good. So again, if you guys want a little bit more, feel free to take that other leg off the ground. Work a little bit inside, outside, so we get all three heads of that hamstring. And this is a great area too, guys. If you have tight hamstrings, it's gonna pull down on the back side of your body, so it's gonna pull down on your hips, and it's gonna create some extra pressure in your low back. Doesn't mean it's gonna automatically mean you have back pain, but for a lot of my tight hamstring people out there, it could be something that's contributing. So doing a little bit of this mixed in with the stretching we're gonna do is great. There we go, good. You guys take your time. Let's go ahead and make our way over to the opposite side, and then we can get ourselves into a little bit of active stretching. So again, same thing here. Work into areas you feel it most. If you've got areas that you don't really feel a lot, you're feeling pretty good, you really don't have to spend more time there. It's about finding those areas that
you do need to work on.
Yeah, put your time investment into those areas where you are tight.
So for me, it's more of my IT band than my hamstrings or
So that
inner thigh.
outside of the leg a little bit,
Yep.
which isn't terribly uncommon. We've got women with wider hips than guys, so tightness on the outside of the leg. is a common thing too. So again, you guys take your time, work your way. If you find something, kind of hang out on it. Now that we've got the roller too, once you find something, if you've rolled front to back, you can do a little bit of smashing and kind of roll that leg side to side. I like to even put a little extra pressure down into that area. So find a spot, little roll side to side. So that'll just get into what we call your fascia, just in a little different way. Just putting some pressure down into it. 3, 2, and good, nice job. So since we're down here, go through some lazy stretches. So whether you guys have, you can actually probably do this with a towel or anything else you might have. If you don't have one of the stretch straps, this is a lot more convenient because you're able to grab different areas and adjust how much you're pulling. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and lie onto our back. Since we're just rolling out those hamstrings a little bit, now we're gonna get an active stretch. So we call this active isolated stretching. You guys are gonna go ahead and pull in a little bit on that strap already. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna straighten out that leg that we're trying to work on. Good. Nice and easy, hold for a second, and then we're gonna come right back down. So the idea is over about 8 to 10 reps, maybe if you got more time, multiple sets, you're gonna be able to get a little bit more length every time. And we've got Robin in here probably embarrassing my flexibility, so that's fine.
Believe it or not, people that are more flexible have to work harder.
Good. And when you guys are up there, you guys keep that going, Robin. If you want a little extra stretch here too, think about contracting your quads. So quads are gonna be on the front side of that leg. So anytime we contract that muscle, it's gonna relax that hamstring a little bit more. So little trick of the trade to get a little bit more flexibility out of those muscles. Good, and let's just go ahead and hold up top on this one here. So a little static stretching, feel free to pull in, flex that toe towards your face a little bit as well. And if you guys noticed you were feeling a lot in your calf before, you may even feel a little bit of a stretch in that calf because again, it's acting on this same area. And good, so while we're here, why not? Let's go ahead and bring this right leg. We're gonna have that right leg, bring it out to the right side, and we're gonna hold on with that hand. Let's bring that left hand off to the side there, Robin. Keep it all the way out. There you go.
I actually like to bring my left hand on top of my left hip.
Keep it down.
Push it down.
Yeah.
Otherwise your left hip is gonna wanna come up.
Good, so you guys go ahead and hold that out. Getting a little bit, now a little bit on the inside of that thigh as well. Definitely an area of some tightness for me. And good, let's go ahead and take that strap over to the opposite side now. Again, trying to keep that right shoulder. You feeling that?
This is the spot, the money spot.
Good, so we're getting a little bit of the outside of your hip now too. So we're bringing in a little bit of your glutes. We haven't done a lot for it yet, but area that's pretty tight for a lot of people. And good, nicely done guys. Let's go ahead, bring it up, switching legs. We'll do the same thing on this side. And then we'll get a little work on those hips and quads, and you guys are gonna be good to go. So go through the same process we did, those active isolated, where you're pulling in, flex the quads, straighten out that leg. Nice and easy, going through.
I love this strap. I haven't used this one yet.
No, it's super convenient. Oh yeah, that one's nice. Like that. And like I said, whenever I'm in a pinch, I use something else, but it's not quite as easy to use. Hold on to a towel, something else. You guys can kind of work your hands into the straps on this one, which is nice. And you can see some progress. It's actually got numbers on it as well, so you guys over time work your way up to a different number, and that's a good way to see if you're getting a little bit more flexible. There you go. So you guys holding in here, a little static stretch. Nice deep breaths, that's it. No holding your breath here. And let's go ahead and bring that leg out to the left now. Again, just like Robin was saying, whatever you do, hand on the hip, try to keep that hip down instead of rolling up off the side, because otherwise now we're not stretching those same muscles anymore. She's good.
Smell good?
She's fine.
Check.
There you go, guys. Good. And let's bring it up and over opposite way. You guys take your time, other hand goes out.
So bring your leg, make sure it's straight, and then pull it up.
Yeah.
You'll feel a little bit more in your hamstring.
Love it. That's good, guys. Yep. And you guys might notice a little difference in one side versus the other. Not uncommon. I'm a little tighter on this left hip, so I notice a big difference in this stretch. Just something to pay attention to in your exercises as well. And good. There we go. Nicely done, guys. We've got one more thing we're going to get through for you. and that is working a little bit more on that hip flexor, okay? So if you guys really liked what you were getting into with your stick before, feel free, pause, do a little bit more of that, or you guys can join us on the foam rollers, because we're gonna get a little bit more there, and then we will go back to those hip flexor stretches, and we'll get you guys going here, okay? So same idea. We're gonna start right in the crease of that hip, okay? So you guys think about getting that foam roller right where your leg comes up and attaches in, so you guys can probably feel, yeah, right there. Feel those tendon ligaments in there. And then same idea. So easiest way, Robin's already there. You'll find your natural spot, get some weight into your elbows, opposite knee on the ground, and just roll nice and easy up and down. And again, if you want a little bit more, what do? We take that left leg off the ground, a little bit more intense, but probably not even needed. Easy, take your time rolling into that. And just like with the others, you guys think about getting right into the inside. Small shift of your body weight over is gonna get a little bit more on the outside of that hip. There you go. And you'll also feel different as you guys go up, so your quads, or at least one of your quad muscles, acts at your hip and at your knee. So if you're to be in the same position with the leg straight versus that knee flexed, you're gonna feel a little different too, because that lengthens that muscle out. So I like to take some time, go through both. Work all the way through this quad and those hip flexors with the leg out, and then take a minute or two and work through with that leg bent as well. So you guys take your time, give attention to wherever it's needed, whatever spots. You guys can see Robin's real quiet over here now. So case in point, if you want her to be quiet, let's make her foam roll. Here we go. And let's...
Don't dog taught me that one.
Yeah. So like I said, feel free, whichever one you feel more of. So you might be tighter, closer to the knee or closer to the hip. Spend some time with that knee flexor straight. And good, we'll go ahead. Transition sides.
Wow.
Woo!
I don't even need to go to masseuse. Right here.
Little extra effort involved, but if you guys get familiar with and start to get comfortable with how to use the foam roller, how to use the stretch strap, there's not necessarily a terribly right or wrong way. You're not too likely to hurt yourself. I say that, be careful with how far you're trying to stretch things, because you can have too much flexibility, but foam roll away. Take your time. Now I will say, if you guys have an injury, if you just injured yourself yesterday, you guys pulled a hamstring, quad, don't roll it. You're putting pressure on an injured area that's got inflammation, not something you want to do. But when you're coming back from an injury, whether it's a part of your rehab, these can be a great tool too. So work up and down through that quad. Because what happens, you guys get injured, let's say you tear a muscle, those fibers, we talked about fascia, start to run different ways. It doesn't always build back the way it's supposed to, your collagen fibers. So this in massage is a great way to help kind of realign some of that. I don't know, whatever. Too much science. It feels good. So that's enough reason to do it. And good. We'll work in, out. And good. So we're really just going to get one longer active stretch after this. It's going to hit a couple different areas.
Okay.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Pretty good? Ready to go through a little active stuff?
It's a good pain.
A good pain. Okay. And good. Nice job, guys. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to stay down on the mat. We've got a couple things we're going to work through, and you guys have some options here as well. Let's start out in this 4-point stance position. You guys are going to bring your left foot. We'll start out first. Left foot up near the hand. Now, as we go through this, you guys have the choice of staying down on the ground, or you guys can come up with that back leg. If you come up with the back leg, you're going to maybe get a little bit more of a stretch in that hip flexor, but we'll get a little bit of hamstring, all of our hip here as well. So we're going to take the hand that's near the foot off the ground. We're going to push that elbow towards our hand, and then we're going to just rotate back and up. So let's just take about 6 to 8 of these here. Good, guys. Drive that elbow down. If you push that elbow down towards the hand, you're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch in that left hip. Let's just get last one. And good. Let's go hands back to the ground. Place that knee down. And now we're just going to rock back and forth between our hip flexor stretch that we did before and the hamstring stretch. So flex the toe up, hands go down.
More open then.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just from that rolling, I'm already feeling a lot more mobile, if you will. Good, driving those hips forward. There's 3. We're just gonna get 3 more. You could obviously spend more time doing these, and for some of you who are tighter than the average bear, you might need a little bit more. But even just a little bit here will make you feel better. Good. Let's go ahead and go through the same stuff on the opposite side. Last thing you guys got for the day, and again, whatever version you did on the other side, try to do the same here. So whether that leg is up or you keep it down, I'll keep mine down this time so you guys see. Drive the elbow down, little reach back up, little added thoracic spine bonus here. Elbow down, backing up. Let's get 3 more. Good, guys. Go ahead and drive down towards that hand. Back up, and last one. And good, nicely done. So really you can probably stay in that same position with your foot. Adjust anything you need to. Push those hips forward, and then let's rock back. Flex that toe up towards your face. Nice and easy back and forth. That's it, guys.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so take your...
Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better in that hip. Guys, and that's just a couple things. So a few things go a long way. Hips, hamstrings, quads, everything lower body tend to have a little bit more tightness in, whether you sit all day or if you're crazy and you do CrossFit competitions and you're just that intense. Good, and last one, hips forward and back, and good. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Not too bad? We call that a turkey when you have a bad handshake like that. You guys go ahead and come up, and let's just go through just so you see how you feel. I want you to see how you guys feel with a little body weight squat as well. So I didn't necessarily test it out before, but I can tell just from usual, I'm feeling good. A little bit more space in my hips, everything's moving a little bit more fluidly, all right? So, and that's the benefit of some adding in this mobility, a little bit of work on yourself body-wise, going through a little bit of movement with it as well. So hopefully you guys took something away. Hopefully you guys use this, go forward, use it before your workouts, take a little piece. Hope you guys enjoyed it, all right? Joe Drake Live Exercise, be mobile.